Well, greetings viewers and voyeurs, gothatfunk here, and a little video follow-up to a video I did a day or two ago called A Friendly Reminder. Now, this video explanation is not the kind of thing I normally do. Normally when I put something out there that I think is a bit cryptic, I want to leave it that way. I don't normally like to explain what I was up to in videos, but this time I just want to give you a little bit of an explanation so you can sort of peek into my brain, and it might make you better equipped for watching my videos in future. Alright, the video is only 15 seconds long, and the first 10 or 11 seconds of it was a script where the letters were changing color, and it said, if you can't recognize propaganda when you see it, that means it's working. And the really funny part was I deliberately misspelt the word recognize. I left the G out, all right? I did that on purpose. And I made the letters change color on purpose. The whole thing was quite deliberate. See, my attitude, well, my contention while I was making the video would be that some people would notice the missing G and some people wouldn't. Some people would wonder why I had the letters on cycle hue and some people wouldn't, and so forth. But no one really seemed to mention the fact that the letters were changing color, and that's fine. But it was really just a distraction more than anything else. There wasn't any propaganda in the rainbow of the letters, if you're thinking that's what it was. The real propaganda for me was the video itself, and the fact that the word recognize was misspelled. You see, to me, if you didn't notice that recognize was misspelled, you weren't paying close enough attention. And if you weren't paying close enough attention to a 15-second long video, how surprising is it that propaganda can work? Okay? So the statement itself, by the way, it comes from my live journal. Back in the day, I used to keep a live journal, and every day I used to come up with a new quote of my own. And that was one of my old personal quotes, you know. So, the really good irony was, because I released it in the week following the Thunderfoot and Dawa Films debacle, a lot of people seem to naturally presume that it's had something to do with that. Quite a few people seem to think that I was in some way referencing that. But here's the thing. Everyone who seemed to think that I was in some way talking about the issues between Thunderfoot and Dawa Films seemed to infer that whatever propaganda I was talking about was propaganda by Thunderfoot and not propaganda by Dawa Films. Interesting. So in the comment section here, a few people recognized the missing letter. The first one was Pink Program, who recognized that recognize was missing a G. And Pink, I thank you for paying enough attention. A few other people did mention it, and I had a few conversations about the drama between Dawa Films and Thunderfoot in the comments section of this, even though this video didn't have anything to do with that whatsoever. I didn't give the video any context on purpose to see what context people would put on it themselves. And most people didn't disappoint. Even people who didn't go to the trouble of putting a context on it assumed that I must have a context in my mind, and therefore, you know, some people said, does it have anything to do with 1010 or whatever? Nope, it didn't have anything to do with anything except for your perception. That's what the video was about. It's a test of your perception and, you know, seeing whether people will jump to conclusions or not, whether they'll notice the deliberate mistake or not, etc., etc., etc. It's all about propaganda and letting you know that I personally believe that a lot of stuff gets past us. And it was just my way of making a sort of demonstration of that. All right, so that's the video. That's what I did. That's why I did it the way I did it. And to those of you who noticed the mistake, thank you for paying enough attention. I don't think propaganda probably works on you. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and may all your ups and downs be ups.